What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one. And this one is Better Call Saul, episode 10. Nippy, let me tell you something before we get into this. A lot of YouTubers have made a lot of predictions, came up with a lot of theories, including myself, and we were all wrong. But we're going to get into that when we get into this video. I thought it was a very good episode. In fact, I will tell you exactly how I feel about this episode right after this. What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. If you can, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. As always, 500 is the like goal. If this video hits 500 likes, I will give a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video a $25 Amazon gift card. And if I happen to hit 70,000 subscribers, I will give away one Oculus Quest to a subscriber. And if half the people who watch this video subscribe, we can hit that number. All right, this is our first straight Gene episode. I knew we were going to get one. That's probably the only thing I came up with that was right, but I knew we were going to get one soon, and we finally got one. So the episode starts off, we are introduced to Marion, and I will say that I did call that she would be somebody's mother. I didn't think she'd be this person's mother, but I knew that she would be somebody's mother. Maybe you can give the brother half credit for that. So we get introduced to Marion. She's shopping in the store and she's going about her normal day. As she leaves the store and heads out, all of a sudden she gets stuck in some snow. She cannot get out of this snow. And while she's doing that, we see our boy Gene hanging up pictures of what? His missing dog, Nippy. After talking to Marion a little bit, trying to get her out of where she was stuck, he goes and he cuts the wire in the back of her little scooter, which disables the whole scooter. After it's disabled, he then takes her and says, I will push you all the way home. Now, she says that this is the same route that she takes every day. So 100%, he's the one who put the snow there to make sure that she was blocked in the first place in order to get her to bring her back to her house. When she goes back to her house, lo and behold, who do we see? Her son. And who is her son? Her son is none other than the cab driver. Just as I said, I knew she would be a mom. I didn't think she'd be this cat's mom, but I knew she'd be somebody's mom. So Gene starts becoming good friends with Marion, and Jeff is just looking at him like, God damn, this motherfucker found me. What's he doing in my house? All shocked and everything else, but Gene does a great job just becoming friendly with Marion, and Marion's like, oh, he's such a great guy, he likes us so much and everything else. And then they go outside to the garage, and when they go outside to the garage, he gets a great line like, listen, I'm not your stepfather yet. Not yet. Not saying I can't be, but not yet. So then Jeff is like, listen, all I gotta do is make one phone call. I call the cops and you're out. And then he calls them on it. He's like, if you were going to do that, this is something you would have already done, because this is not truly what you want. You know what you want to do. And he's like, what's that? He's like, you want to be a part of the game. You want to get in the game. And I'm going to give you your chance to get in the game, because obviously Jeff is just a loser and he's got nothing going on for himself, and he basically says yeah and agrees to do this. After that, we see Gene go back home, and we see that how he's living is paranoid. Still paranoid. He doesn't know if what he said to him will take. That's why we hear the police scanner on in the background. He's listening to see if Jeff really did go to the cops and there's something going on and just for his own peace of mind, but he does not hear anything, so he knows that his plan is in effect. Next, we see Gene at work, and it kind of reminds me of that old school commercial, Time to Make the Donuts. Maybe y'all too young, you don't understand that, but if you're around my age, you understand that commercial. But that's what it seems like while he's there at Cinnabon, and he grabs 2 Cinnabuns right before he ends his shift. Why does he do this? Well, he's doing this so he could befriend a couple of security guards in there. And when he first gets in there, the one guy's like, oh, this is the guy who said, go call a lawyer. And he's got to win him over, but the heavy set dude, he knows he's got him because he's heavy and he's got Cinnabuns. And this is a great montage scene that we see set up here of him going back and forth and doing the same thing every day. And he's timing the guy to see exactly when he gives him that Cinnabon, how long does it take him to turn around and look at that camera system again. After he gets through all the timing situation, he then goes out and charts the steps of how many steps it's going to take for someone to go inside this store in the mall and grab stuff and start boosting stuff. He does the whole thing and he figures all that out. Right after he figures that out, we see him set up a grid outside of the store, and he has Jeff go through it and grab stuff as if he's going through it to grab all this stuff. And it's hilarious that he would actually get this guy to do it. But Jeff is like, I don't want to do it, but his boy is like, I'll do it. And then once he hears his boy say, I'll do it, he's like, all right, I'll do it. So he goes out there and he's telling him, you can't get greedy. You only have a certain amount of time. And he gives him like a rhyme to remember for every time he grabs something so he knows exactly what's going on. So after he does that, we see the final plan take into shape. First, they get a package dropped off on the dock. The person running the store is like, this was never meant for me, yada, yada, yada. I need to call a supervisor. Calls a supervisor, and the supervisor is Gene. Gene's like, oh, sorry, it was a mistake. Can you hold it for the night? He finally convinces her to hold it for the night. After she holds it for the night and she leaves, Gene goes into his mode with the security guard. He does his plan. He gets them there. Once he hands the fat security guard guy his Cinnabon, he hits the phone rings, and pops out Jeff on that crate that was on the dock. He goes in there and he starts doing all the boosting. He's grabbing everything. Earlier, though, there was a spot that was on the floor, and the manager said, hey, make sure somebody cleans that up. This dude doesn't realize that he's going at top speed, and he just totally wipes out and bumps his head right on the floor, knocks himself unconscious. And I'm telling you, at this time, I was like, oh, they caught. They're not going to get out of this one. He's not getting up. Because I thought it was going to be something quick, like he fell down. But he was there for a while. Like, he was out for a while. So the clock is ticking. And Gene knows that this guy's going to turn around because he's about to finish this Cinnabon. But right when he does it, before he turns around, Gene goes into this whole act of how he has no family, how he lost everybody to make this guy feel good about himself. When he does that, finally, Jeff gets to his feet, he grabs the other things, and he makes his way out, and the plan was successful. They go back to the garage, and these guys are all happy. Oh, we came off, we got all this stuff. I can't believe it. And then we hear 2 lines that we heard in the teaser. These are 2 more lines that YouTubers got wrong. That we thought was for something else, and it turned out just to be both of these lines in this episode. Well, I got one of them right. I knew that one of them, he was talking to Jeff about blackmailing him, and that's exactly what we got from one of the lines when he says, don't come back, because listen, I got you dead to rights. You did this, I did something, now you can go to jail. So you got to tell me right now that this is it, we're done. I don't want to hear no more about this whole situation. We hear that line, and then we also hear the line, after all that, a happy ending. We hear that line too. Basically, that's how this episode wraps up. So my thoughts on this episode was, it was a classic setup episode. Now if we look at it, if Gene has nothing more to fear from Jeff, then he can move on with the next step in his life. What would that be? We see him going by those suits, and when he's seeing those suits, he's seeing that money and everything else at the end. It's just making him feel like Saul. You know, it just wants to go back to being Saul again. I think that's where this whole thing is setting up, and that's what we're going to get for these next episodes that are left. So we are now basically in the end game for this show. We are about to see exactly how Gene turns from being Gene back to Saul one more time. But what we don't know is exactly what's going to push him over that. Is it just going to be the suits being out there and seeing all these wonderful suits and him wanting to be back in the game? Is that going to be it? Or is there going to be something else that puts him over the edge? We shall see. We had them have a little conversation with Marion about Albuquerque, so we'll see exactly what pushes him over the edge. But you tell me in the comment section what you think. And yes, I know I got some stuff wrong. Have your fun in the comment section. But I wasn't the only one. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.